A quick overview of the key concepts of Harness. We'll start with the architecture. There are two key components here. There's the Harness Manager, which you use through your browser, and that's a connection to Harness running in the cloud, and the Harness Delegate, which is a service that you install in your environment. And it's a worker process that performs tasks on behalf of Harness. So it makes outbound connections only to Harness, receives tasks, and then performs them, such as connecting to an artifact repo, or a code repo, and deploying to a cloud provider, or connecting to a verification provider to pull data. Within Harness, we organize everything by account, org, and project. So here's a visual. So here's your Harness account, and within your account you can have multiple orgs, and within your orgs you can have multiple projects. So an org can map to a business unit or a division, and within that, the projects can map to individual projects that your teams are working on, such as a development project for an app. The point of the projects is so that teams can be independent and they can share connections and resources and not have to bother admins to set things up or to get credentials and that sort of thing. Now, if we go back to Harness, I can show you some projects. Okay, within the project you'll have different modules, and these are basically the different products in Harness. You have continuous delivery and continuous integration and so on. So we'll look at CD for this example. So in CD you have pipelines. And pipelines are basically the way you model. In the case of CD, you model your release process. In the case of a build module, you'd be modeling your build process. Let's look at one of these projects here, sorry, pipelines here. Let me get rid of this stage. So within a pipeline you have multiple stages, or one or more stages. And a stage is essentially contains the logic that you want to perform as a major segment, right, in your release process. And they're based on different milestones in your pipeline, like building or approving or delivering. So if we look at a stage, we could see it has service, infrastructure, and execution. This is a CD stage. So the service is the logical view of your application or your microservice. It can be propagated through multiple stages, and each time its service definition can be changed. So the service definition is the physical view of that service. It's the actual files in the case of this stage. Over an infrastructure, we have an environment. And an environment is the logical view of your environment, be it development, QA, production, and so on. And likewise, it can have a physical representation, the infrastructure definition, which is in this case the actual cluster that you're deploying to. Lastly, we have execution steps. And these are the individual steps to perform the stages process. So this is a Kubernetes rollout. I have a shell script step that performs something. I have an HTTP step that does a GET. And you can add steps or step groups that perform a lot of different operations. So I've been showing you this in the Pipeline Studio visual editor, but Harness also uses YAML as well as an editor. So you can do everything you like in YAML instead. And it's a full editor with shortcut keys and with find and replace, and includes everything you need to build your pipeline. So that's a really quick rundown of Harness in terms of building things. Other things to consider are connectors, and these are connections to your integrations, such as, in this case, GCP, your cloud environment, or AWS, or a Kubernetes cluster, or the artifact repositories that you want to pull artifacts from, or the code repositories to pull code, or the container repositories you want to deploy containers to. So, or push containers, built containers to. So, and also includes secrets, so your secret managers, and then of course we have RBAC to perform all the role-based administration you need. And that's really a quick overview. You can look at quick starts for all the different modules and get started, and learn more about Harness on our website.